Coming up on Look Today, well, a group of Warren County residents are filing a federal lawsuit in hopes of changing the county's current form of government. I've got details. And St. Clement's Roman Catholic Church in Saratoga celebrates 150th anniversary. More on that coming up. Plus, Mayor Joanne Yepsen of Saratoga Springs and others officially kick off the Saratoga Wine and Food and Beautiful Car Festival. It's all ahead on Look Today. Welcome everyone and happy Friday. I'm Jay Hood Jackson and this is Look Today. In tonight's program, I sit down with Jamie Williams. She's the Associate Director of the Franklin Community Center, and she's here to talk about the center's upcoming fundraiser for Project Lift. And I also sit down with Kim Cook. She's the Executive Director of the Glens Falls Open Door Mission, and she's here to give us an update on the mission's new facility. Plus, we've got your weather for the Tri-North counties, but first, these headline stories. Well, in our lead story, a group of Warren County residents have filed a federal lawsuit in hopes of changing the county's current form of government. Now, among the people in the group are Mark Westcott. He's a former Queensbury Supervisor at Large and Queensbury's 3rd Ward Councilman Doug Irish, and other residents of the county are participating. The lawsuit claims that Warren County Board of Supervisors system is unconstitutionally apportioned and does not follow the constitutional one vote, one person rule. Now, the action takes place after the Board of Supervisors voted down a resolution to establish a committee to study alternative forms of county government. This is a hot topic, and we're going to follow this story closely and give you more insights with exclusive interviews with officials on both sides of this issue in the coming weeks. Now, in other news, well, St. Clement's Roman Catholic Church in Saratoga Springs will celebrate the 150th anniversary of an icon in the faith, a Lady of Perpetual Help. Now, a large picture of her was sketched and then painted by the kids at the school. Well, we spoke to Father John Blasek about the upcoming celebration.
Well, on the 17th of September, we Redemptorists will be having a celebration for our the 150th anniversary since we received the icon of Our Lady of Perpetual Help. And we were given the mandate by the Pope of that time to make her known. It's one of the oldest icons in the world. And this is our contribution to that celebration.
Well, switching from news to weather, today was pretty humid, as it was the last couple of days, and the temperatures are in the 80s. So let's see how the weekend is shaping up. For a more detailed look at our weather, we're going to head to the Glens Falls Weather Center for a look at your first weekend forecast. Back to the news. Well, Mayor Joanne Yepsen of Saratoga Springs joined officials from SPAC and the Saratoga Automobile Museum to kick off the 16th Annual Wine and Food Festival. Well, more than 60 Ferraris and other exotic cars were featured as they assembled for the Adirondack Road Trip. Now, the 3-day SPAC Festival is SPAC's biggest fundraiser. The event is a celebration of the fine culture and attracts people from all over the world. Well, we spoke to Mayor Yepsen about the economic impact SPAC has on the region.
There's no other better example than the economic positive impact, the educational impact, and the impact in terms of culture and arts and the quality of life that we can offer our residents and our visitors than SPAC.
Of course, I know every car in the background. I don't know what she said, but I can tell you about every one of those cars. In other news, speaking of cars, the Nationals in Lake George kicked off this week and is going to run through the weekend. Now, this is the 28th annual event, and it features classic hot rod automobiles. All of Canada Street in Lake George is blocked off as people from all over the country come to show off their classic cars. Now, on Sunday, a winner's ceremony will take place, and of course, I will be there with my friend Bob. Up next, I sit down with Jamie Williams. She's the Associate Director of the Franklin Community Center. She's here to talk about the center's upcoming fundraiser for Project Lift. Very important. Plus, I also sit down with Kim Cook. She's the executive director of the Glens Falls Open Door Mission. She's here to give us an update on the mission's new facility. But first, if you see news happening, you want to share a story idea. How about join us for an interview? Give us a call on the hotline, 798-8000. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Look Today. I got a bunch of lookouts. The first one, let's all remember that this Sunday is September 11th, and it will be the 15th anniversary of 9/11. And I don't know anybody who wasn't touched by that day. My wife and I were living in New York at the time, and we could see the towers from the living room of our apartment. And I went down there soon afterward to see the destruction, and to see the firemen, and to see the police, and to see all the civilians. And it was unbelievable. And I know many of you have stories as well. So please, take time out on Sunday and remember the anniversary of 9/11. I also like to talk about people I meet as I travel about Saratoga, Warren, and Washington County. Well, as you know, earlier this week I broke my glasses, so I had to get a new pair of glasses. And Mark Basford, he's a general manager of Vision Works in Queensbury, and he was just so helpful today. You know, you go into some of these chain store or franchise vision places and you get somebody and they don't really care or whatever. Mark really went out of his way to help me find a solution, and I guess you're looking at them, so thank you, Mark. And finally, it's Friday, so I really want to thank the crew, and that's Jack and Joel and Jesselyn and Andrew and Drew and Norm, Norm's our engineer, for making this show possible each week. It's going to be a great weekend, everybody. Cars all over the place, all kinds of cool stuff. So be careful, and we'll see you on Monday night for the stories that matter to you. Have a safe weekend, everyone.